So today I want to talk to you about your Amazon activities, the things that you do when you're selling stuff online. Do you see it as a business or a hobby? In fact, again, I'd like to see in the comments, is your business a hobby? Is your business a hobby? That's confusing. But I'd like to see in the comments, is your Amazon activities, is it more of a business or is it more of a hobby? And it's okay to, kind of overlap. It started off as a hobby and it turned into a business, or, because they do overlap. Now, when you think about, doing things as hobbies, most of the time you think of something that you do during your leisure time. It's not a real priority. You use it, you do it to relax. You're really not in it to make money. If you happen to make money doing it, that's, a nice bonus. But really, it's not something that you're trying to really grow a lot, unless you, find it relaxing to grow, a profitable, business type thing. But most people, when they look at things as hobbies, it's just something on the side. I know for me, when I first started selling online, I was doing it on eBay. And for me, it was a hobby. It was just something I enjoyed doing. I liked going to garage sales. I liked finding stuff where I can, buy it for cheap and sell it for more. I kind of put the money off to the side to maybe do something fun with. But it wasn't paying the bills. It was more of a hobby. And it wasn't until I found myself, I was a single dad and without a job and needing to find a way to find some income, that I was like, okay, how can I turn this eBay thing into a full-time job? That was back in 2011, and I'm like, okay, I tried to figure out eBay into a full-time job. I ended up discovering Amazon. Started Amazon in 2011, was able to make it into a full-time income by 2012, and it became my business. Started off selling online as a hobby, translated into a business. But how you view your Amazon activities really does shape, how much you're going to be able to make and how much you're going to enjoy doing it. So if you decide that, Amazon is a business and it's something you want to do, then you need to treat it like a business. Businesses, they set goals. Businesses, they know their numbers. They understand how much they're making, how much they're losing. They understand that they need to educate themselves to learn new aspects of the business. They understand that they, want to be able to reinvest as much as they can into their business by and to get the snowball going. And then once they get the snowball going, and get the profits going, then they're able to take out to pay the bills. So, seeing it as a business, you want to be able to treat it like a business. But if you see it just as a hobby, then, of course, you're a little bit more, at ease as at doing it. You're not so focused on, you might be like, hey, I bought this for $2 and I ended up selling it for $7 on Amazon after fees. I just barely broke even. So, not big deal, but it was fun looking for it. And other times you find something for $10 and you're like, oh my gosh, I sold it for $70 on Amazon, and you get the thrill and the rush. But, you're basically just trying to have a hobby that supports itself, and, you're okay with breaking even. But you really do need to decide. And it's also important to decide and communicate whether you see your Amazon business as a hobby or a business with your spouse. You need to look at your Amazon activities, decide if it's a hobby or a business, and communicate that with your spouse. Because if you see it as a business, but your spouse assumes it's just a nice little hobby on the side, that could cause some miscommunication. It could cause, possibly some conflict. Plus, if your spouse thinks that you're viewing this as an income-generating business, but you're really like, this is just a hobby, I enjoyed doing it on the side, then that could cause conflict. So you want to be sure you're on the same page with your spouse about that. My wife and I have a whole chapter in our book, Married to Reselling, about deciding if this is a hobby or a business, and communicating that with your spouse and making sure that you're on the same page with that. You can find out more about that. fulltimefba.com/married is our book, Married to Reselling, Balancing Family Life with Your Online Business. Because we all know it could be really crazy trying to balance working from home with your family. You want to be sure you succeed with your business, but you don't want to neglect your family. And you want to be sure that your family feels loved and appreciated without neglecting your business. So it's something to check out. Married to Reselling. You can go to fulltimefba.com/married to find that book. But one thing I do want to let you know and remind you of, even if you view your Amazon activities as a hobby, if you are making money, if you are making profits, the IRS sees it as a business. And it's something that you need to take care of when it comes to taxes. Now, I'm no tax expert. I don't know all the laws. I'm not giving, a lot of expert tax advice. I don't know, but I do know that if you're making money on Amazon, the IRS sees that as income, and you want to be sure to report that, even if it's something small. I hear a lot of people, they're like, if they're one of the things that people talk about when they're outsourcing and they're hiring people to do their business, they're thinking, the IRS only requires you to give your employees or contract workers a 1099 if you pay them over $600. And so some people equate that to being, hey, if I don't make $600 a year on this little side business, then I don't have to worry about reporting it. No, you still have to report it. If you have any kind of income, you need to report it. So always do the right thing. Be a person of integrity. If this Amazon activities that you're involved with is just a hobby, but you're still making money, you're still you're not just reinvesting everything into the company, but you're taking money out of it to pay for bills or pay for something fun, then the IRS sees that. So let me ask you a few questions to help you to know, and these are questions actually from the IRS website, to know if you are using this as a hobby or if you're doing this as a business, and if you need to report. It says, does the time and effort put into the activity indicate an intention to make a profit? If you're wanting to make a profit in this, then the IRS, they want you to file your taxes and file your income with that. Does the taxpayer depend on income from this activity? If there are losses, are they due to circumstances beyond the taxpayer's control, or do they occur in the startup phase of the business? A lot of people know that when you're first starting up, you could have no money being made for the first few months, because you're paying for all the fees, you're paying for all the equipment, you're paying for services, you're paying for training and guidance. So a lot of times startup companies, they start up and they're not making any money, but they're doing those expenses. So if you are doing anything in your business that you're deducting, expenses from and claiming those deductions, then 100% need to be sure that you are making sure the IRS knows about the income that you're doing. Does the taxpayer have the knowledge needed to carry on the activities as a successful business? Has the taxpayer made a profit in similar activities in the past? So even if you're doing something that's like eBay, hey, if you were making a profit on eBay and you were having to pay taxes on your eBay profits in the past, you're doing something similar now. You're selling on Amazon. Even if you're not making a profit, you still need to notify the IRS of your income. Can the taxpayer expect to make a profit in the future from appreciation of assets used in the... So there's a lot of things, and you can find out this information in our book, Married to Reselling. FulltimeFBA.com/married is where you can find that. You can also find it on the IRS website. They give you all the information you need to make sure that you are doing the right thing. I don't want y'all to get in trouble with the government, with the IRS, to owe them taxes because you fail to, do the right thing. You fail to notify them of your income. A lot of people are like, you know what, Amazon didn't issue me a 1099 form. So, I don't have to tell the IRS that I've made any money. It's like, no, that's not true. They only didn't issue you a 1099 form because you didn't make up to a certain amount of money. But it's still your responsibility to notify the IRS of your earnings. So I want to make sure that you understand that because it's a really big, important thing. Be sure you double check everything that I've said with the IRS website, irs.gov, to make sure that it's all that you're doing the right thing. I want you to have a business that's built on integrity, a business that has a foundation that that you can build on and be comfortable. A lot of times when people first start out with their Amazon business, they're like, okay, I don't need to do this yet. I don't need to do this yet. I don't need to do this yet. Well, one of the things that you need to be sure you don't include in that, I don't need to do it yet, is notifying the government of the money that you're making. So again, when you are treating your Amazon activities like a business, and that's your goal, you want it to be a business, then there are things that you need to be doing. So obviously, telling the IRS the money that you've made is one. Another thing you need to do is to understand and know your numbers. You want to be sure that you understand the profits, your losses. You want to understand how much you're making per hour. I mean, how much money are you making for the time that you're spending? An activity I encourage you to do is to sit down, have a notepad, and all week long write down all of the activities that you do on Amazon and the time that it takes you, and then correspond that with the money that you are taking out of your Amazon account to pay the bills. And that will help you understand how much you're making per week, per hour, and you can do the math and figure that out. And you know what? Some people might do that and realize, oh my gosh, I'm making like $3 an hour. This is not good. That might be because you're treating it as a hobby. But other people might be going like, oh my gosh, I'm making like $40 an hour. That's awesome. And the light bulb might go off and be like, man, there's certain things in my job I can hire somebody to do for $15 an hour. That would up my pay, and I'd be able to, spend that hour doing things that are more profitable. So again, when you're looking at it like a business, you want to be sure you take and make those type of business decisions. Successful businesses don't have one person doing everything. They delegate. You can delegate by a lot of different ways. Not only just hiring somebody to come and help prep or box, tape up your boxes for you, prepare your items. You can also hire VAs to help take care of your Amazon back-end work. You can hire people to come mow your lawn. You can hire people to come clean your house. Do things at a lower per hour job that frees you up to make more. Knowing that you're like, oh my gosh, if I spend another hour doing this, I can make another $40 because that's about what I make, $40 an hour. Then that just is a big deal. So think about that. Realize that at the very beginning of the business, sure, you're the CEO, CFO, you're the accountant, you're the secretary, you're the janitor, you're everybody. But in order to really grow your business and find success, you need to be able to include others, outsource, and take advantage of using the time that you've been given to the best of your ability. Money, it's something that comes and goes. But you can earn more and you can use it wisely. Time, once it's spent, it's gone forever. So use the most of your time. So again, think of your business. What are you doing? Is it a hobby or a business? Act accordingly, and you will see the benefits in the long run. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate a little thumbs up below. That'd be really great. And if you have a question or comment, you can do that below too. And if you are looking for any of the links that we talked about during the video, you can find those in the description below. That will take you right to where you want to go. Be sure you subscribe to this channel to be sure you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. We add videos all the time. And if you want to learn more about turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA, please go to fulltimefba.com. We got over 100 blog posts full of tutorials and walkthroughs and experiments and all sorts of fun stuff that will help you make a full-time income on Amazon with just spending part-time hours. It's awesome. So you can also get 2 free PDF downloads that will help making selling on Amazon that much easier. So you can do that at fulltimefba.com. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the good stuff we send out almost weekly. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.